Hey guys, Sandy here, and first of all, I want to wish Meggy a very, very happy YouTube anniversary of 5 years, guys. 5 years she's been on YouTube. Today we're celebrating Meggy and her 5 years on YouTube by doing a YouTube hop, and we are doing that by scrap lifting her. So I went into Meggy's Instagram, found this post from September 13th, 2017, and loved this layout that she created with some paper strips and a doily. And I really like the fact that she has the Christmas tree in the photo, and on the background paper it is going to be trees. So I'm super inspired by that. I'm actually going to be scrapbooking this photo of Sleeping Beauty Castle in Disneyland. So I don't have Sleeping Beauty Castle background paper, but I'm going to create something. So let's see what I can do. The first thing I do is grab some of this watercolor paper. Now this is not large enough to be a 12 by 12 sheet. The pad is an 11 by 14. So I cut off 3 inches and just wanted to make sure that my watercolor paper was 11 by 11. So obviously I'm going to back this onto another project. Now I have pulled out my Tailored Expressions liquid watercolor, and I just popped it down there on my Tim Holtz tonic glass mat. And the only thing I am doing is taking a big brush and just slapping it down over top. Like really technical techniques here, guys. Like I'm just like plopping it down. And I'm okay with the splatters, I'm okay with the drips, like it's okay. I'm okay that the colors are mixing together. I just want to create a base to this background that I'm going to be putting castles on top of, because I definitely want to repeat what Meggy created with her photo of a Christmas tree and the background paper being Christmas trees. So here is where I'm starting to kind of model the colors together, and everything isn't just so like this is a blush brush, you know, thing, like it's slapped down. It's kind of mixing together and all over the place. So I take my paper towel, which is super wet, and I'm just kind of slapping it against the page to try to get some of the heavier piles, or puddles, I should say, of water. And then I pull in my heat tool because I am impatient. So I go ahead and use this heat tool and I dry the layout, and it takes me a little bit to do it, and there I am just getting those big water piles out. But here it is all dry, and you can kind of see the background. Now this is an Echo Park stencil, and I'm using some close to my heart white daisy ink, and this is the pigment base ink. It is not the water-based dye ink. And I'm just using a round ink blending tool and just pushing the ink through the stencil. Now this is going to be a subtle background. It's not going to be like boom in your face castles, where on Meggy's you definitely saw those trees in the background. If you looked at this layout, you might have to take a second glance to see that there are castles in the background. And I am totally okay with that. I like the effect that this has had. I like the way it looks, so it's pretty cool. And plus, it just, you know, a fellow scrapbooker really inspired me with what she did on her layout, which makes it super, super doubly cool. I'm just adding a little bit more ink where I think it just needs a little bit extra. Kind of smoothing out the goompy bits too. And this is purpur tape. If you don't know about purpur tape, then you need to check it out. It is a low-tack tape that is great for holding dies in place when you're running through a die cut machine. Obviously, it's great for stencils, and you can kind of see the castle there. And there it is, kind of showing you at different angles. And it is not pronounced purpur tape, but in our family, the color purple is purpur. So it is purpur tape. Check it out though. If you don't know what purple tape is, you need to get some. I think there's actually an affiliate link below. I do include affiliate links in some of my videos, so there it is. I'm just using the Chamel Head in the Clouds collection. This is also the Amy Tangerine collection. I can't remember the name of it. Oh, it was the one with lots of black and white. Now, originally I was going to use that gold glitter paper, but I decided I was going to go silver instead. I figured that these soft kind of watercolored mottled background really needed to have silver. Now, I pulled out this Die Cuts with a View glitter paper. Now, this is probably the first rendition of glitter paper. Glitter paper has definitely come a long way since I have purchased this, but it's still good stuff. It's still in my stash and I'm going to use it. Now, I did cut out the center of the paper so that I could mat this photo and need it to have a little mat on it as well. And then I'm just figuring where exactly this needs to be lined up. So I'm definitely looking at Meggy's photo. This is basically it's a true scrap lift. It's not where, you know, I'm inspired by one part and didn't follow her layout at all. And I'm just taking these strips and kind of creating this straight line down the left-hand side of the page. And I'm just trying to figure out which direction they look best in, which color order they look best in. And the great thing is that you can use 6x6 paper pads for this because your photo is going to be covering up a whole lot of these strips. And I decided I did not like the pink strip next to the left of this floral strip. I don't know why, but it looks so much better to me with that pink floral on the right of the bigger floral. It just looks better to me. You might look at it and think, well, it makes no sense whatsoever. But I think what it is I have a darker paper, kind of like a lighter paper, a darker paper, and then it is a darker paper than this sparkle bit right here, but it's lighter. So I just felt like the pattern worked a little bit better. And then I totally throw the pattern out the window when I go for that sparkle paper, but I don't know what to tell you guys. It makes sense in my head. It just looks good. There are things, there are design rules that you can learn and there are design rules that you can follow, but ultimately it's your scrapbook and you should create the page that you like, right? So that's what I say, go for it. Now this is the Carousel 6x8 pad and I'm taking this scalloped paper right here and cutting out the scallops so that I'm going to have the scalloped border on the bottom of my photo. And this is one thing I really like doing with pre-printed paper that's scalloped. Now at this point I'm thinking I need to pop this up a little bit. I need to have a little bit of definition, a little bit extra oomph. I already have a whole bunch of texture going on in the background. So I'm going to go ahead and use this foam tape. Now this is a thinner foam tape. I cannot remember the brand, but it is thinner than my Brutus Monroe foam tape, which is a huge tape roll. And you know, I probably could have used some unfun foam here, and I guess I just didn't think about it until right now while I'm doing this voiceover. So I kind of position it where I want to go. I'm trying to figure out where my doily's going to sit. Like how much doily do I want to show? How much of that white center of the doily needs to show? Here I am. I'm off to the side, kind of peeking at Meggy's layout again, and then I'm also trying to figure out what kind of washi tape I can use. And then I realized that I forgot about the horizontal pieces that go across the bottom. So I decided to use the back side of that floral paper, and it is a polka dot, which is exciting. And then I really checked out Meggy's sketch, and I discovered that some of the paper she had vertically, she also had horizontally. So I'm going to grab that heart paper and use that as a second horizontal place. Then of course I decide that I need some glitter tape because hello, it's Disney and Disney needs glitter. Plus I just really like the way the silver looks with this layout. Like this is definitely a layout that needed the silver and not the gold. Man, I wish silver was a little bit more popular. I know gold is like super popular. I just wish silver was too. I really enjoy silver. I actually have used more of my silver glitter tape than I have of my gold. So what does that tell you? Okay, so I have that down there. I'm happy with that. We're getting that doily down again, trying to figure out exactly where it's going to go. Then I realized that this needs to be on top of the doily and not underneath of it. Now, why I didn't just tuck that little bit of doily under there instead of ripping up all the paper, I couldn't tell you. No clue whatsoever. None whatsoever. So now it's finding that perfect position for the photo, and it's matte to go. So I'm just going to go ahead and peel this off. And I gotta say, if you are a person who, when you were a little kid, used to take like Elmer's white school glue and put it all over your palm and let it dry and peeled it off, and like it was always a challenge to see if you could peel off the whole palm of your hand with glue. That's kind of what reminds me of peeling off these foam tape rolls, and it just gives me great joy because I used to do that all the time. When I was in elementary school and a teacher requested that we used glue sticks instead of white glue, I was all depressed because I knew that I wouldn't be able to put the glue in my hand and peel it off. So that's just a little random fun fact about me that you probably did not want to or need to know, but there it is. Now, I know that Meggy's title is down here below the photo, so I have these thickers from the Head in the Clouds collection. I just was trying them out, and size-wise, I think they're a little bit too large. So I put those off to the side and decide to work on the clusters a little bit instead of the title. Now, I pull these things off of the sticker sheet, and here I am trying to use this little rainbow bit here, and it really doesn't go. Like, it's not the page for the rainbow, but I really, really like the rainbow, and I've tried to use it a couple times. So I'm using these flowers in pots, kind of just regular florals poking out, and that's okay. Like you don't have to use the entire sticker. You can kind of like do your own thing. Now I did turn off the video here and forget to turn it back on. I got up to do something, I don't know what. Now these Happy Day that I'm putting down with the wet glue here, these are a wood grain pictured thicker that came in the Jen Hadfield Homemade collection. And the only thing I did was white emboss them so that they were white instead of the wood grain. Now, additionally, I have put a couple more die cuts. That circle die cut I cut in half and placed on the two areas. I also added the dragon and a journaling card and a couple stickers as well. And I'm so sorry that I neglected to turn my video back on. My poor little Lawn Fawn glue is running out, and it makes me ridiculously sad because I love this stuff. But it also makes me happy in a way because I've been dying to try the Gina K Quick Connect glue, and I think once the Lawn Fawn is out, that will be the next glue that I try. So I'm really happy with the way this is looking, and then I'm like, okay, I need to make some sequin clusters. And I don't know how she made her little sequin clusters. I don't know if she stuck them on one by one using wet glue or if she used like the tiny sequin glue dots, but what I have done is take a circle and spread wet glue over all of it and just kind of put the sequins over top of the circle and formed them. And then what I did was took my heat gun to them, and the sequins not only did the glue melt, but the sequins kind of softened up. And when they heated, like they kind of like melted into each other a little bit. So when it cooled down, they were pretty solid. So I don't know if that was the way she did it, but that's the way I came up with, and it worked for me. And I think I'm definitely going to be doing this technique on another layout sometime in the future. So here are the little sequin clusters, and I'm just trying to figure out where I want to put them. And these sequins came from Spiegelmom Scraps, and I believe it's called Pixie Sticks, but I'm not sure if these are still available. If you want sequins from Spiegelmom Scraps, you really got to get them when they come out, because man, her sequins just fly off those store shelves, and like, you got to get them. The good thing though is she's always coming up with new mixes, so you're never really like missing out. There's always another new sequin mix to come, and there's plenty of them in there. So I go ahead and I get that down, and now I'm going to write down what this photo is. It's of Disneyland, and it is Sleeping Beauty Castle, and then I'm going to put the date as well. There's not going to be any journaling really for this page. It's going in a Disneyland trip album, so I don't feel like I need to say like a whole lot. So now I'm going to go ahead and glue this watercolor paper down, and I'm going to go ahead and put it over top of this glitter paper. Now originally that was going to be my only background, was this glitter, but I decided since I have a thin bit of glitter directly around the castle, I want a thin bit of glitter around my background. So there it is. So it's still not a 12 by 12 layout, guys, but I do get another sheet of paper. And this is a cardstock. It is not a pattern paper. And I am just going to adhere that down as well. Now I do have wet glue and ATG on that glitter paper because I really want it to stick. So I'm going to go ahead and press that down. And there it is, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Happy YouTube anniversary, Meggy. And make sure you follow the hop below.